This is RF Video Series Reflections, and this time we're sitting down with the legendary One Man Gang.
Says it right there on the shirt, right? One Man Gang!
That's what I
People
wanted.
always ask me that I copy Stan Hansen. You know, Stan Hansen's got the old Texas.
Right.
I would take one of those little cassette recorders, you know, and I'd record
Right.
the promos from Mid-Atlantic, you know, and I'd play them back and listen to the show, you know, and I would get in front of a mirror, cut my own promos, you know. I didn't have no wrestling name or nothing. I would just cut a promo like I'm going
Right.
to a town or something in front of a mirror, and I would take Savage ask, you know, said, "Who's that?" You know, what is it? "Who is there?" You know,
Right.
how Savage talks. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
He was pretty much. I found out he's Savage. He's all way. He's Randy Savage all the time.
24/7.
24/7. And he told him, you know, that's George Gray's, independent wrestler with us, you know. And he goes, "Man, I could do something with him, you know." So he come over to me, and I couldn't stand when that camera come on. I was terrified, you know.
Right.
I've never been in front of a camera.
Of
I didn't know what to do. That's what I said. I would ask Randy, well, how am I supposed to act? He said, just just act real kind of just a country boy, you know. You don't know what's going on around here, you know.
Right.
I was booked. We get our booking sheet, you know, and you see where you booked at for the week.
Sure.
So my name's on the booking sheet, Crusher Broomfield. So I go to, I don't know how far it was like a 2-hour drive to this little town. I get in there, I'm putting my gear on, and the darn promoter dude walks over and says, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I'm booked here." He says, "Oh, no, you're not booked here." I said, "Well, yeah, I pulled the sheet out." So I was like, really bumping for him because this is Andre the Giant.
Of course.
I don't know. So after the match is over, he comes to me and says, "Boss," you know, that deep Andre voice, you know, "Boss, I'm out there to get you over," you know. And I'm like, wow, that's wild there, you know. He's gay because he just comes through the territory for 4 or 5 matches or whatever, and he goes on. I look up in the stands, and Bruiser Brody's at the top of the stands with that chain, you know, way up in the crowd with swinging at people falling off the darn bleachers. And I'm like, I'm supposed to follow him up there? No. Luckily, things just fell into place for me. You know, and Dusty came to me, and, I was in Mid-South doing a show, and Dusty came, "Would you be interested in coming to Florida Championship Wrestling?" Well, yeah, sure I would, you know. So I finished the night. If you was in the main event with Dusty or Blackjack Mulligan or whoever it happened to be, it was, always a gimmick match, steel cage match, chain match, Texas bull rope match. You know, once you got in that one spot, it was always some kind of gimmick match, barbed wire match. Even way back then, he was doing barbed wire matches before ECW. So,
Did you learn anything from Dusty?
I mean, I learned how to bleed.
Sure.
Good match, and at the finish is the heel is down here, and Dusty runs over the heel, and I pick him up for the slam. The people's thinking, "Oh man, he turned on him." But instead, I dropped Dusty on top of the heel, for the 1, 2, 3. And we in the right then. I just wanted to go in that ring every night and try to do the best I could do for the fans.
So you would work your match and then go right home or to the hotel?
Exactly.
Did that put you in a negative light towards the boys who were partying?
Probably so, but I didn't care. I wasn't hanging out with them. I didn't want to go to the bars and hang out.
Right.
I wasn't a drinker. What was I going to do? I wasn't a whoremonger. I didn't care about them women they hanging out with. I got a wife.
Right.
I don't care.
No, that's
about
admirable. I mean that you're unique in that sense.
Well, I don't know about unique.
No, you are.
I mean, but that's just my views on it. That's the way I live my life, and
Right.
And I was driving in my car. He was riding with me, and he pulled out his little gimmick bag of whatever, white powder.
Right.
I ain't saying what it was.
Could be
but
talcum.
It was yeah. But he started going to town on it, and he dropped it. It fell in the seat.
Oh my.
And he said, pull over, gang." I pulled over, and man, he was like down in the cracks, down.
That's rock bottom.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, man, I ain't never seen this dude's in the crack of the seat.
Sure.
And then here, several months later or whatever, what happened from that. So
Yeah.
I just don't understand, guys. Lay it back on TV saying that Gary Von Erich had a flu. He had 102-degree fever or something, like that.
Right.
We all know behind the scenes what it was,
What was your reaction to all the tragedy that befell that family?
I mean, it's bad. I hate anything happening to anybody, but it's just crazy, man. It's just, why? I mean, okay, they might, you know, they was, you know, he might have done a little bit of time for some drugs or something, but is that enough to go out and get a shotgun and, you know, kill yourself? Or, you know, all of them's that way. I mean, what, there's only one left now.
Yeah.
Tulsa or somewhere up in there, and they just told me, as soon as I got the TV, you know, they told me that we're going to take the strap off of Terry and give it to you. And I'm like, what? What are they talking? You know, Akbar and all. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Oh, you're going to be the new, you know, UWF heavyweight champion. I'm like, God, really? I mean, I had no idea.
Right.
You know, people think you have these, you know, big meetings behind closed doors and, you know, they all set you down and go, well, we got this idea that you're a one-man gang is the big cat and the lad. The Vince McMahon wants to talk to you, brother. You need to talk to this man. It'll be good for you. And I said, all right, Ernie, I'm busy right now. I'm on tour with this darn title and all that, you know. So he said, you really need to talk to this man. I said, okay, Ernie, I will. Mm-hmm. So I called him up and asked him, you know, Mr. McMahon, what do you want me to do? They want me to drop the title in the middle, you know, get pinned. And he said, just do it. It ain't going to hurt you at all. Just do it, and you'll be finished and come on to work for me. He goes, you know, well, what do you think about being a black man? I'm like, I thought he was joking, you know, so right. I give out a big belly laugh, and I say, yeah, that's great. Blah, blah, blah. You know, no, I'm serious. Vince, you know, Vince has this idea to turn you into a black man. You find your roots in Africa, and, you know, going to call you Akeem. And I'm like, man, you ain't, you making it's a job, you know, but I'm not happy with the travel.
Right, the
travel. The travel's killing me, you know. I never see my family. My son was like 5 years old, you know, so I never seen him.
Wow.
You know, all I see was videos when I came home, you know. They get in the car, they'd be doing what they like to do.
Right.
And me and Slick's like, man, you can't do that in this car. And they get all mad, and they get to the building, you know, and, well, I'll get a ride with somebody else. I don't need you.
Right.
And they'd go to somebody. So eventually I went home from a tour. I don't know where I was supposed to go back out. We'd come off a tour like 3 days, you know. Get home, wash your clothes, and heck, it's time to go back out again. So, man, it's been, you know, 4 years. I said, man, I can't go back out again. I told my wife I can't do it like that. You know, like, you know, I hate to say it, but, you know, even Slick would, you know, me and Slick would be like, these people ain't got to go home. You know, I don't want to use the word what's going on.
You can say it.
Well, you know, a bunch of gays and, you know, whatever.
Sure.
You know, they didn't need to get home to see their wife and kids.
Was that prevalent in the business at the time?
Well, I don't know if it's prevalent. It was there for sure.
Right.
You know, because I know one time Slick was approached by somebody on the crew, you know, and things, you know, so.
Sexually?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We was at some town. He went down to the club. He liked to go, you know, listen to the music. He didn't drink or anything.
Right.
He'd get an orange juice or whatever, and he come running back up to the room about a couple hours later. I didn't keep mine. But I went home anyway. Vince gets on the telephone. He goes, George, what's the problem? And blah, blah, blah. And with that Vince McMahon voice. I don't know if he has a real voice, but anyway, he always uses that business voice, you know. He goes, I said, Vince, man, you know about the money. We've had meetings about this. I'm spending out of my own savings to go on tour and things. He goes, I got some big things, just like in the meetings, you know. I got some big things coming up. We got we've got Survivor Series because this is October. Survivor Series, I think, is November.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so this was October. He says, I got you booked in the Survivor Series, a big match in that, you know, and a team and all, you know. And I said, well, I'm sorry, Vince. I just can't take it no more, man. I'm beat up. I'm tired, you know. He goes, well, you know, George, this is bad business. This is really bad business. This is not the way to do it. And I said, well, I'm sorry, Vince. I said, you know, I'd be screaming all crazy, and then, you know, had the S&M mask on with the zipper, you know, to zip it, and I'd stick my tongue and all, just goofy stuff like that, you know, because I'm supposed to be under his control now, you know. So there were several times on just TV guys, you know, enhancement guys that would be at TV for us. I'll jump in with the straight jacket on and just, you know, boom, 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 and pin them with the straight jacket on.
Right.
That time, I might as well say I got fired. Because they put me in a program with this rapper dude that was down there, PN News.
Oh, yes.
And we was going around and we was doing these splash matches, and then we got to a town and you know, Dusty wanted me to put him over in the middle, you know, he wanted PN News to go over me, and I had too big an ego and I refused to do the finish, you know.
Okay.
I mean, that was my fault, you know. I shouldn't have had such a big, I should just take the money, do what I'm asked to do, and just keep my mouth shut.
Right, because have you ever done that before?
No, never, you know, but I'm thinking, man, who is this dude? I don't even know who PN knew. Where'd this dude come from?
Right.
You know, here I am. I've been, you know, and then all of a sudden, and I don't know what time it was at night, midnight, Kevin Sullivan and Jimmy Hart calls me on the telephone, just out of the blue, and tells me, you know, oh man, we want you to come in and work for us. I hadn't even thought about it. You know, I didn't know nothing about what was going on in the wrestling world.
Right.
And you know, I'll give you, you know, $750 a night. You come back. I thought, man, this is good. I can go back in. So I said, okay, I'll do it. You know, so I quit my little civilian job I had and went back into WCW. Down, I ended up dropping it to Conan a week or so later. Conan took the title from me. Then a little week after that, I was scared. I was working with Hogan in Caesar's Palace on Nitro, Monday Nitro, and it was short. I don't have any idea how to describe my career. Bloody, rough, street fight almost every night. I have no idea. Somebody that didn't get a big money contract.
Right.
Somebody that'll never be in the Hall of Fame because he walked out on the company. I mean, if you're an independent wrestler out there, don't let your ego take over.
Right.
Once that ego gets you, it's over with. And that's another thing I don't understand about guys. Like, you know, these guys that get to WWF, you know, they worked their whole life to get there. Mm-hmm. Then they stay there, what, a year, 2 years maybe? Then they give their notice and quit, you know. CM Punk. What was that? I mean,
yeah.
The guy was on Independence out here, probably wasn't making, what, $300 or $400 a show or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's another thing I just don't understand, scripts. I don't get it. I could never done it. There's no way you could give me a page and I'm supposed to memorize it and go out there and, it's the one-man gang talking at you. Wherever you're at, I'm going to hunt you down and I'll find you.